Although a dedicated graphics card is considered by many to be a must-have for PC gaming, it's not as important as it once was. Sure, you need it to play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt or God of War PC at ultra graphics settings, but if you don't mind losing a little bit of visual quality and delving into the many great titles out there are tons of games that you can play using your onboard graphics. Hello folks, it's the Low Gamer, and in this video I bring you the top 10 games you can play on your Intel HD graphics. Hit that subscribe button so that you get to see more games lists for your low-end PC or laptop. Kicking off things at number 10 is Crysis. Crysis is a first-person shooter video game series created by the German developer Crytek. The series revolves around a group of military protagonists with nanosuits, technologically advanced suits of armor that give them enhanced physical strength, speed, defense and cloaking abilities. The protagonists face off against hostile North Korean soldiers, heavily armed mercenaries and a race of technologically advanced aliens known as the Seth, who arrived on Earth millions of years ago and have recently been awakened. Coming in at number 9 is Mortal Kombat Complete Edition. The storyline involves the Divine Protector of Earth, Raiden, attempting to change the aftermath of the events of Armageddon by contacting his past self as he faces defeat at the hands of the evil Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn. At number 8 is Call of Duty Black Ops. This game is perfect for those into first-person shooters that are really fast-paced, since this game has very high-paced action right from the beginning of the campaign mode, where there are a lot of things happening on screen at the same time, sometimes that you don't even know what to look at. All the graphics detail must be set to the lowest settings so that this game can run on Intel HD graphics with some acceptable frame rates for a first-person shooter game. In the number 7 spot is Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012. Need for Speed Most Wanted is an open-world racing game developed by Criterion Games and published by Electronic Arts. Most Wanted allows you to select one car and compete against other racers in 3 types of events. Sprint races, which involves traveling from one point of the city to another. Circuit races, each having 2 or 3 laps total. And speed runs, which involve traversing through a course in the highest average speed possible. There are also ambush races, where the player starts surrounded by cops and must evade their pursuit as quickly as possible. You are able to drive nearly all of its vehicles right from the start. To drive them, you don't have to win races or accumulate points or buy tokens, you just have to find them. Some are hidden on rooftops or down back alleys, some are hiding in plain sight. You can check out the gameplay of this game on my channel by clicking on the card on the top right corner of your screen to see how it might perform on your low-end PC. At number 6 is F1 2014. F1 2014 is a racing video game based on the 2014 Formula 1 season, developed and published by Codemasters. The game features turbo hybrid cars introduced in the 2014 season, as well as the team and driver lineups. You can choose any team to drive for at the start of career mode, rather than forcing you to start at a team lower down the grid like in the Formula 1 2013 game. It takes great talent to drive a Formula 1 car, and you need to be as alert as you do to get the cars around a track. Smooth movements, correct braking points, and the right amount of steering lock are key to find your way around corners with any degree of success. If you have never played any F1 games or racing simulation video games before, You'll surely have hard time getting used to the game, but with enough practice, you should be good to go. At number 5, we have FIFA 18. FIFA 18 is a football simulation video game which features 52 fully licensed stadiums from 12 countries, including new stadiums plus 30 generic fields. If you're a fan of football games and you have at least an Intel HD 4400 graphics card, then FIFA 18 is the perfect game for you since it is well optimized to run on Intel HD graphics rather than FIFA 17 and gives a perfect balance between the old and new titles of FIFA with its beautiful looking presentation and detail. A quick disclaimer: you will not be able to play this game if you have an Intel HD graphics card that is lower than the Intel HD 4400 and will also need at least 8 gigs of RAM if you want to achieve a solid 30 frames per second. In at number 4 is Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Throughout the game, the prince learns new powers and there are 4 core powers in the game: fire, ice, wind and earth. Each of them translates to a different power during combat, such as the ability to solidify water fountains and turn them into climbable columns. This game runs perfectly fine on most of the Intel HD graphics cards and will be able to give almost 30 frames per second, and so if you have a 3rd generation computer or above, you'll be able to run this game at a decent frame rate. In Grid Autosport, you act as a racing driver with opportunities to start and build your own racing career via the single-player career mode, and play against your friends via the multiplayer split-screen mode. The career mode is divided into seasons, before which the player each time has to choose between offers from the game's racing teams. Grid Autosport emphasizes the concept of racing disciplines, making them into the new event categories. There are 5 main categories: touring, endurance, open wheel, tuner, and street. During career mode, the player picks a particular event in one of these categories, with each event making up a season. This game is highly optimized to run on the Intel HD graphics card, and you should be able to get a solid 30 frames per second with the graphics details set at medium, and hence still get a beautiful looking game with a smooth experience. I highly recommend trying out this game if you love the motorsports like I do. In second place is Tomb Raider, an action-adventure video game presented in a third-person perspective. The game combines action, adventure, exploration and survival, where players can traverse between the camps and cross the island using footpaths, improvised or already available zip lines and climbable tracks. The combat of the game borrows multiple elements from the Uncharted series, with players having the ability to free aim Lara's bow and the guns she salvages, engage in close-quarter combat, and perform stealth skills. You can check out the gameplay of this game on my channel. I uploaded it recently so that you can see how this game can perform on your Intel HD graphics card. Finally, in the number 1 spot is Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 is a first-person shooter video game developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The game features combined arms battles across single-player, cooperative and multiplayer modes. It reintroduces several elements absent from the Bad Company games, including fighter jets, the prone position, and 64-player battles on PC. You can play this game with a lot of Intel graphics cards out there and can still get some beautiful graphics quality on your low-end PC. So those are the top 10 games that you can play on Intel HD graphics that have got some pretty amazing graphics but are well optimized to give you a smooth experience. Let me know down in the comments which games you have played before on your Intel graphics card and had a smooth experience that I may not have included in this list. But that's it for today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you wish to see more games lists. Catch you in the next video.